These are going to be your separating mixture notes. These belong on page 15 of your journal. I know that some of you wrote on page 15 when you wrote when you wrote your mixtures and solutions notes, when you wrote on that second page. I'm ignoring that second page, and I'm just going to make the next page page 15 so that it keeps us on track. Cool, cool. So, let's get started. Your first one is magnets. And guys, you know how magnets work. They attract metals. Oftentimes on your STAR test, you will see a picture or a question that asks you about a mixture of sand and iron and how you're going to separate that mixture. Iron is a metal, so we would just stick a magnet in, scoop up the iron, take it out, and you'll have iron, and leave the sand in the cup or bowl or whatever they're providing you for a container. You can also separate a mixture using water. This has to do with density. So it's going to be whether the parts of the mixture sink or float. If part of the mixture sinks and the other part floats, you have successfully separated your mixture using density. Another way that you can separate a mixture, this will be our third way, is through a strainer, a sieve, or a filter. They're all the same thing. All you have to do to separate this mixture is pour whatever your mixture is. In this case, I used marbles and water. Pour your marbles and water into a strainer. Make sure there's a bowl underneath because, you know, we don't want to make a mess. The strainer should catch the large marbles and the water should go straight through. This can work with anything that has small and large particles inside. So, sand and rocks, or milk and cereal. And our last way to separate a mixture is through evaporation. For this, we are going to use the example of salt water. So this could be at the beach, but for our purposes, we're just going to put it in a cup. And when you have salt water, you can't tell the difference between the water and the salt while it's mixed together. So this is a solution, not just a mixture. If you had set this out in the sun, if you put it on a hot plate, if you put it on your stove, wherever that water can heat up, it is going to eventually start to evaporate. And you're going to be left with the salt at the bottom of the cup. When all the water is gone, you should be left with just the salt at the bottom. So you'd go from a cup full of water or a solution of salt water to just salt. There will be no summary at the end of this video, guys. I'm not going to take the time to do it for something that we don't really have a lot of writing, you know. So whenever you are done with this video, make sure that you have hit turn in or submitted this video. If you have any missing work, please turn it in. If you have any corrections you need to make, you should make those corrections.